Don't miss the latest miniatures from Artel W.
Spiking bits.
Artel W Miniatures is quickly becoming one of the premier resin casters out there, and I think their miniatures, whenever and whatever they come out with, are always worth taking a look at. So let's jump over to their site and see the latest. ArtelW.com is your portal to scoop up these premier miniatures. Like I said, they came on the scene about this time last year and they haven't quit since. I mean, just in this category alone, there's 47 different miniatures. They've retired some, they've created new ones, and it's just really cool to see a company doing this well. Now today, we're going to take a look at Lord Maximilian, the Witch Hunter. We've already showed you the Katrina, the law enforcement section, and some of these other folks here. We are going to take a look at the headquarters bundle, which is this really cool table, and you can do a neat little diorama. But it also comes with Major Brock and Colonel Regina, and the Preacher Ignatius Farnsworth, which I feel like would sound way cooler if it was like Farnsworth the second or the third. But we're just working with the Farnsworth, so we'll just let it roll off the tongue and just let it linger for a second. So it doesn't seem like a lot, but I'm sure that this will be a lot to put together and kind of show you some of the options, because actually some of them, like the Witch Hunter here, like you'll see, has different head options here. Like this has a rebreather and some optics, and then you have a Baer head option, so which you can kind of see right here. So there's lots of different, and some other robotics and things like that. There's lots of different options to actually show you, and we're going to show you the resin, show you the quality of the sculpts. And if you've seen the computer images that Artel puts up, like I don't know if there's material out there that can handle the degree that they're sculpting and all of that great detail. We're kind of limited by the technology that we have in this industry, unfortunately. But these miniatures still look great. I mean, they could look a lot better if we actually had a material to hold these amazing sculpts that they actually do. So let's jump off here, get some of these together, and show you how good they look up close and personal. Now, if you've never gotten a package from Artel, it's actually kind of a really exciting out-of-box experience. I know I say this every time I review their stuff, but maybe you haven't seen my other videos. So it's going to come in a kind of brown paper bag here, sealed with a wax seal and twine. You have to actually cut the twine in most cases. But once you get it open, and your box will of course contain your order. So, you know, in this particular instance, we have a grip of miniatures in here. It's the ones we just kind of talked about right there. So they're all going to come, and there's you know, there'll be some bubble wrap and stuff to protect them, because they are coming from Eastern Europe. I believe it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they ship out of Eastern Europe. Man, my postal guy is always looking at me with a sort of concerned eye with all these packages I get from all corners of the world, literally. Reviewing things and taking a look at things. It's just it's kind of crazy. I'm like, no man, they're toys, it's cool, no big deal. So I have two confessions to make. One, there's an extra figure in here I didn't tell you about, and two, I'm not going to show you each one of these figures of their parts, because I feel like at the end of the day you might want to just big toe a shotgun after you listen to me drone on about the parts and then assemble them and then show them to you. So we're just going to kind of show you some examples of a couple of different ways some of the models are going to come from Artel W, and then we're going to show you each one assembled. So first off, this is the little bundle here for the planning table, and this thing's pretty neat, I'll admit. Like, it goes together very well. It looks like you got to trim off a couple pieces of flash there, but it's got nice triangular slots right there, which means that the, you know, circle ones always mean you can rotate. So I like that design right there. Now some of the miniatures are going to come half assembled, which I've never seen this before, like a computer slice as far as resin goes. So you've got the Colonel, I believe his name is. I'm getting these all wrong here. Let me pull it up before I put my foot in my mouth here. No, the Major, of course. Of course he's not a Colonel. That's way too much. That's a field promotion. So here's the Major, and you've got that slice down the middle. So that's going to be interesting to see how that lines up. But then you've got like Maximilian here is pretty much just already one sculpt with the arm, and I don't even know what else goes on this guy. So this one's a little bit more simple. And then you've got, again, with the slicing and stuff. So very interesting kind of ways to assemble things. Now we do have one model that I didn't show you on their website, the Elf Warrior. So he's going to be kind of cool, and he comes with two different options, a hooded and a non-hooded head as well. Several minutes later, we have assembled all of the miniatures. Now, all of these new releases, or the latest releases from Artel, are going to be on 25mm bases. So here's the headquarters bundle and the planning table, which gives you a lot of room to write your own, I don't know, draw your own map or something like that. Got some box grills and things, and all sorts of maps and different things kind of hanging out there. Very, very cool. And then we've got the Major, which we were kind of worried about the little slicing, but then if you look at it, they did it just like GW does now. They kind of hide the mold lines. Now you will need a little bit of plastic putty right there, but in all actuality, on that backside right there, you might not even see that crack if you don't seal it up. And then on the front side, it's his jacket, so you don't even notice it at all. So they did a really great job designing that. I definitely like what they did there, and all of the fur looks great, the face looks great, the shoulder pads look really good. So really, really great detail all the way around. And then we've got Colonel Regina. So Major Brock is outranked by Colonel Regina. Oh, how about that? And she obviously is looking at some sort of tactical iPad from the future. Her detailing looks great. She's got some sort of faux heeled shoe sort of thing right there, and very interesting clothes, almost definitely very company commander-y. The head looks good for sure. Now there are no options on this, it's just straight up comes like this. These are your two options. So reviewing, what's going on back here? I think that's, she's just kind of hanging out reviewing, maybe playing with her hair or something. She's got that big ponytail right there, and of course her sidearm. So very cool looking miniature, would definitely look good in any army out there. And of course when you put them on this little diorama here, they definitely don't look out of place at all. So I really like that one. Then we've got the Witch Hunter, and like I said, their sculpts are amazing. They really captured a lot of detail in the material right here. This is the human head, like I said. Oh, where's the other head? Oh, it's in the baggie. So there is another head, and unfortunately I'm just gonna have to show it to you. There's a robot arm, or a bionic arm, and a normal arm right there, but I'm not gonna be able to fish that out in time. So just know that there is an alternate head, and everything goes together pretty well here, the arms and everything. And of course he's stabbing some poor heretic or mutant or zombie. It's really hard to tell what, but very visceral, and lots of room for a hobby opportunity right there. This is a really, really cool miniature. I wish the Inquisition for Warhammer 40K was a little bit better, because man, let me tell you what, these guys don't see enough play, and I'd love to have a reason to field him on the tabletop. Here's the Elf Warrior, double-handed sword, or dual-wielding sword. Very cool looking. Like I said, there is a hooded head too, but again, I think they nailed the elf. It's got that gaunty kind of face. The ears, of course, are always a thing on elves, and he looks very, very good as well. Lots of great detail work here on his clothes, and then has some really good looking kind of boots down there. It's just hard to, I guess without a little bit of paint, it's kind of hard to tell exactly. It looks like there's some sort of elven, mystical metal type deal. Of course it's elven. Why wouldn't it be? Next up is Farnsworth himself, and there he is. He's got the triple servo skulls and just kind of chilling, doing his thing. He's got a little dagger, some books, really cool looking fanatical staff. Straight out of Necromunda. Very Blant Jitsu-y, and of course he has his steampunk glasses on. No detail spared when it comes to this guy here. Capes, books, twine, flame, banners, everything. Lots of three-dimensional parts. Very, very cool. Easy to put together. Loving it. And last but certainly not least, Lord Maximilian. You could use this guy for a lot of different things. Merchants, rogue traders, planetary governor. I don't even know. He's bedecked out in all sorts of the finest furs. And who doesn't respect a man that has a monocle and some sort of crazy cyber cane? Love this guy. But again, you know, all this stuff's affordable. So if you're like, yeah, why would I ever get this guy? Well, you could do some sort of scenario or work him in to perhaps your army as an advisor or something like that. There's a lot of different potential here for these guys, which is really neat. And of course, don't forget, there's a lot of grimdark RPGs out there as well. So that looks to be all of the latest miniatures from Artel W that we've reviewed here. And I think we had, yep, we got 7 with that right there. So I really enjoyed taking a look at that. I think the favorite of my batch is probably the Witch Hunter. And they also make him in a 54mm, which I'm hoping to get in at some point that we can review as well. So make sure you head on over to artelw.com to check out the latest from them, and of course the bundle for the headquarters as well. If you like these type of videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can be the very first to like and comment on all our videos.
Spiking bits.